Okay, just about finished up the spamming on Discord, so I'll be done in just a sec. Alrighty, let's do this. Okay, camera's working. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm still kind of sleepy from work, but yep, I should hopefully wake up as the stream goes on, and yeah, I'm always up for D&D later, so okay, Capcom's coming through. Put that in performance mode. And let's begin. Hey folks, how's it going? Marixica? Hey there. No less, you have discovered how to make runny fried egg. You should have left it longer after flipping it, but you're gonna miss its progress. Excellent. How are you doing? Well, obviously you're making pretty good fried eggs, so that's always good. Personally, I always have my eggs sunny side up growing up, so I'm not really used to over easy, or whatever it's called. Although, the way I was taught to, you just sort of splash oil over the top and that helps cook the top a bit and keeps the yolk runny. So you can just sort of cut off the egg whites around it and then have the yolk to squeeze all over the toast. Made myself hungry, sorry. Oh, anyway, good evening everyone. Well, good zone of course. I really should use that phrase more often. Not just myself. You don't even like egg. No, unless you're sleeping weird AF and dozed off at quarter till and before you missed the start of the stream. Yep, don't worry, I start earlier on Fridays, but not that early. Oh yep, for those who are not aware, of course, at 7:30 I'll be over on Nick's YouTube channel for the return of our D&D game. So yep, if you like watching tabletop RPG actual plays, give that a look. Oh hey Pixel and Barraclaire, how are you both doing? Pixel, you should have some hot food on, but boy, you are lazy. It's Friday, everyone's allowed to be a bit lazy. BisectedBrioche. Hey Iris. Yep, Nick is totally a nerd who can't kill his PCs. Especially rogues. Can't touch them. Oh, anyway, I'm supposed to be playing this game, aren't I? Let me just remember what voice I was doing for Godot. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. L's HMD made a big impression on the old man. Music is harder than the mic, drowning out slightly. Oh right, yeah. Sorry, I had it turned up from the Metroid Other M stream. That should be about where it is normally, but let me know if it could be higher or lower. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he is wearing. It's good for you, Mirixica. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, now this confirms we're in the zone. Pixel. Iris has had at least 9 opportunities to kill her PCs and she hasn't killed a single child. Yeah, it's like she's not even playing AO in character. Iris, has this man fired his laser eyes at me? They did actually speculate he might early on, so I guess if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Is he a cyborg? Good question. He might just have some fancy glasses for all we know. Oh yes, elbow on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. I know, he could be a coffee pad cyborg, I guess. Huh, well tried. That's the worst but the best impression of Godot ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good. Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was as irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. Once again, this guy's got some interesting philosophical takes, and I'd very much like to know what they actually are. So, what is the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Oh yeah, just warning in advance, this character, Mr. Armstrong's quite kind of cool and very genderqueer, but the game treats him like a joke. Iris, you remember Frankie from One Piece? This guy's the same, but powered by Starbucks instead of Pepsi. Now, Iris, everyone knows Frankie isn't powered by Pepsi. That would violate copyright. And yeah, Frankie from One Piece is powered by drinking cola. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you would look at the plans of the restaurant. Alright, and his attempts at French are deliberately bad. Which is good, because I don't actually speak French myself. The mirror. Oh yeah, to reiterate, a guy in a cafe drank poisoned coffee. The waitress is on the hook. And fake Phoenix Wright represented her in court and got her found guilty. And the fake Phoenix Wright is a Mafia Don or something. Iris, not even drinking it, he puts it in a compartment under his stomach and uses it as like a battery. Yep, which is incidentally something you can actually do with any acidic substance. Hence the potato-powered GLaDOS in Portal 2. Yep, a fake Phoenix Wright. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? I'm not. Le mirror. It was in the middle of la restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victime. That was la seat at the table next to la victims. That was where the old man was sitting. Pixel and the fake Phoenix Wright, if it was a Yakuza game, a touch would hover it under him in the first time he came on screen. Exactly. After la terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. Before or after a bike gets smashed over his head. Well, that's interesting. Because a bike does tie into this somehow. Or a scooter anyway. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Godot could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said he didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteers, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
Okay, this should be pretty easy, because... I think we've got evidence that says the vase on that table was broken. Yep, the vase here is intact. So, we'll just do a little savey safe, so I don't have to go through that text again if I'm wrong.
This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist. Huh. Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite.
Burn?
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
And it's the vase because the old man testified earlier that he broke it.
I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have with the witness's testimony? Your Honor, I am telling you that there should not have been no vase on this table, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Godot broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting.
That would change the scene completely.
And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Godot was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible.
Search your feelings, Godot. You know it to be true.
That seat's the only one Godot could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction.
Yes, Bear?
There was no mirror in Tribulations that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
I'm cute. Citation needed. But yeah, you're right. Oh, thanks for the hydrate, Iris. Just take another sip. Mon Dieu. Yeah, my Discord status does say that. Busted.
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase. While the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words.
I did not touch anything else, except the mirror. Thanks for the posture check there. Sipping coffee when he's stressed. I can get behind that. Iris, you've never met a trans person who wasn't cute. Therefore, I have to be cute. You rest your case.
Very well. Objection sustained. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
Hey Jan, how's it going?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
But there will be a mirror, featuring heavily in today's D&D session. Don't miss it. Yep, early stream, Jan. I've got D&D later, so I started streaming an hour early so I can get a good hour and a half of vocal practice in. Yeah, I think it was quite a good plug myself. BisectedBrioche stream sponsorships when?
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece and an ear in which he couldn't hear? And why does the possibility fill us with fear?
Pixel Podium, you're an eyewitness, and you definitely saw me being cute at the approximate time of 24/7. Ah.
You only got one shot in life. There's no turning back.
Really, Godot? Explain the documentary, Life is Strange.
If you want to claim that mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this probably is all yours. It's all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just one contradiction, Mayor.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us?
There was another man at the victim's table.
And
there was a sample CD on the victim's table.
It all flies in the face of Mr. Godot's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Time travel. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Godot's testimony is simple.
Okay, that's a whole three blocks of health, or whatever you want to call it. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. Yeah, just to clarify for everyone, the point of contention here is that the victim was deaf in one ear because of an injury, and the witness, the old man, saw his earpiece on the wrong side. We've established the old man hasn't made a mistake. There's no reason for the ear doctor to have made a mistake because he hasn't even shown up. So, the victim was a phony. Caulfield would be ashamed. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what's that? The instant Mr. Kudo witnessed and the instant the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? No less. Case. I contain multitudes. Yes, the victim, Mr. Kudo saw, wasn't Mr. Glen Elg at all. He was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Exactly, no less. And Bear, it all makes perfect sense. And yeah, the comedic timing on Godot's coffee spit was spot on.
Order? Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretending to be Glen Elg, and that's out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? Is there a new concept for an escape room? And it's all gone horribly wrong.
Sorry.
The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl bought him a Javatino. She put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Well, you're insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well. It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right! Well, witness?
No less. Popeye. That's who that old guy keeps reminding you of when he makes that face. Oh my god, you're right. He's like Popeye, but with like a giant nose instead of his pipe.
If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Ooh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
No less. For some reason you've misremembered Popeye as having a big nose. Yeah, I remember, children's TV presenter Mark Spate or something like that used to do a Popeye impression all the time. Pixel,
I clean up with Old Spice and feed birds fine rice. I'm Kudo, who went to Tribulations. Toot toot. Wait. I clean up with Old Spice and feed birds with fine rice. I'm Kudo, who went to Tribulations. Toot toot.
perfect. No less, you never saw much of him. I think he presented Smart, and I want to say something else. Kind of a shame what happened to him, though. Yeah. Alright, Popeye. Yeah, I think he was a bit before my time, but I saw a few of the shorts.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the events of the restaurant that day.
We.
No, you can leave that part out.
In the restaurant. Le victime, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. And when he got word he won la lottery, Mon Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. None. There was no time for a phony to do la acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. Wait, je vous demande pardon? I'm not sure that's grammatically correct French at all. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is committed perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
For now, we'll hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. Well, I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Rose plucking intensifies. Okay, do I have something that contradicts any of this? Yeah, it's odd saying demand, if it's meaning is at all close to its English cognate. Demand means ask in French. It came to English via Norman influence. And obviously when the Normans invaded, they didn't do much asking. A quick history lesson for you. Okay, I think I've got a piece of evidence that contradicts that. Because his calendar said he was meeting someone. Your Honour, that statement contradicts this evidence.
It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Really? Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. Whoops, that didn't go so well.
Okay. So much for the easy answer. Let's try that again.
Was he alone at his table as well?
Mais oui. I saw him from la kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection.
Unfortunately for you, Trides. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet.
Hearing Mayor say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. By old man, you mean Victor Godot, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special. I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you're making me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome any time.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more.
Wow.
So Mr. Godot arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail.
Let's ask for an exact time.
Out of curiosity, what time was it when Mr. Godot arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by kind of a scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m. None?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person's in a good mood.
Hey, he's even humming a song to himself. Okay, let's just check the autopsy report and see what that says. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2 p.m. Not a contradiction per se. Does this have a clock in it? Nope. Yeah, too wide a window. Wait, I know. The lottery draw was at 1:30 p.m. So it must have happened earlier in the day.
Objection.
I'm afraid afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
What? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery tickets.
Oui, that must be the show Mon Elk was listening to. I'll be honest, I actually can't find, even though I barely know any French, I'm kind of finding it hard to say is French, just because I'm, one of the things I do know about French is how to use la and le properly.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m? Correct.
Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was at that time, because I just finished serving the lunch menu. No less. So that was why he was in such a hurry to get to the Goldenrod Radio Tower. 10 out of 10 Pokemon reference.
Get to the point, right? If you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30 p.m? Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
None!
This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. An evil twin. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning of 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elks in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elk, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elk, acting out the events for Mr. Godot to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how can you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
Quite a performance, tried. You're almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
He's really mixing his metaphors here.
What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m.
No less. Glugs tea, slams mug down, handle snaps off mug.
The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Godot. How to explain then where the real Glen Elk is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elk was already dead, murdered, and someone is responsible.
No less. What is Godot's mug made of? To be fair, he gets thrown a new mug off the camera a few times, so maybe he's just replacing them.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. What? Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? Well, we're in a video game, so I guess it just sort of fades out. Sorry, I had to. According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elk, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim?
You think that was a bit irrelevant? Like, could have just dumped it under the table, put it in the kitchen. Weekends at Bernie's, the real one. Wait, Weekend at Bernie's, the real one. God, that is hard to pronounce with a sore throat. Well, not with a dry mouth. But while the game itself is quiet, thanks for the quote, Nerlis. And the emoji. Drippy indeed, Bear. Drippy indeed. Okay, that's my vocal cords nice and lubricated.
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the courts, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question.
Exactly, folks. Moist. One of the worst words to say.
Where did the killer hide the body?
Kind of feels a bit unfair to prove this, but okay.
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture tried. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence?
What's up with that intense pressure in here all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where's the body of the real Mr. L concealed?
Okay, how am I supposed to know this? Guess you could argue it was the kitchen because his medication was in there.
It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside.
Oh, cosplay suggestion from Bear Claire. Femme Godot, coffee spitting included. Yeah, that could work.
Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you'd care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'd say the kitchen somewhere.
The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Medication.
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
None. I have never seen that ugly bottle any before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where is that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honour, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations.
Quoi? But I only ever use this, bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
Yep, pog indeed. Bear, pog indeed. I am down with the kid slang. Honest.
What kind of medication?
What a quote.
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious.
Yeah, that's the quote you're after, Nihilus.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analysed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Mr. Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Oh, it goes for a random match. So if you search for down with, you might get see I'm down with the kids or I'm not down with the kids slang. But which is the truth? One quote always tells the truth, the other quote always lies. Dare you answer its riddle? I'll be honest, streaming gives me a passing familiarity of at least the streaming related slang. And to be honest, I haven't spent like 3 decades on this planet just so I can't, waiting for a generation to be younger than me, so I can't learn their slang and mangle it. Iris, the truth is that you're the one who always lies. Bear, ask which quote thinks I'm cute. Mon Dieu.
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
None. Yeah, man, it should just be that way.
Order? Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness? Did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
Hashtag not my Samus. Never. I can never do such a noble thing.
Oh.
Look at him go.
Mr. Godot? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules.
Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Iris, the best song in the series. Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. Wait, then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me.
Is Godot going to drink someone? Is she just going to pull out a straw and suck them up? Oh, hey Sarah C. Popping in and out, I'm a good bean. Yep, happy Friday to you too. Happy to have you watching, if only for a moment. Yep, exactly, Bear. Pixel. Oh my god. Thanks for the Sarah C gifting 5 subs to Ken Marie Dayo, Iris, Sarah, Nolis and Octal. Thanks so much. I can't remember if Sarah C streams, but if we could give her a shout out. Although, of course, now Iris has subscriber privileges and I'm terrified. Oh, you don't stream? Oh well. Well, I appreciate the sub so much. I hope you have a good Friday yourself, and once again, thanks so much. I can't iterate that enough. Is iterate really the right word? Well, anyway, back to the case of Godot apparently drinking someone. Vera Claire, a friend made a cursed freaking image last night. What if there were anti-tea patches that went on your skin and just sucked the tea out like... Wouldn't that be a thing? And then you stick it on a trance mask person and it goes in reverse like... I did sincerely apologise for the sounds I just made with my mouth, by the way. Nerless. Godot. Want to drink world is a mug. 14 cups of coffee on a bad day. Godot. Born to drink, world is a mug. Not sure how far the world is a frack we went anyway.
I like to take them down with my empty cup.
Okay, he just throws his empty cup at them. Which means the same thing, I guess. You can add quotes as well, Bear. You don't need to be a moderator to do it. The command is just exclamation mark quote, followed by the quote. Yep, it's true. Pixel also makes cursed images. Oh yeah, add quote. Oh, okay, you're lazy. Fair enough.
Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavour in your ear? My H-deficient friend.
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. This is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Oh, hey, Kiara. Thanks for the lurk. Can we get a shout out for Kiara while she's just lurking? Oh yeah, as a reminder, Kiara is actually matching my Metro Other M streaming hours played on Fortnite, and she's just doing that to raise funds for a friend's transition fund. So support her for that. Happily, I'm of course past playing Other M, at least until next year when Leggy has to host Goggles and I. And of course I'll be starting Paper Mario on Monday. But anyway, for now, well, we've still got another 30 minutes of Phoenix Wright, so let's go. Listen to me, por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
None. Absolutely none. I...
Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. Unlike the defense, who can just have it thrown at them whenever, apparently. As does my gavel.
And then Gimli pops in with a...
And my axe.
Oui, it is clear.
What they always say in the movies. I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
The confession. It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. It's Metroid Other M all over again. Iris. Being a defense attorney in this game comes with hazard pay, because Phoenix risks his life with every prosecutor. Yeah, I don't think that's true. Thanks for the quote, no less. I had to go along with it because there was a reason I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
Oh, another cosplay suggestion from Bear Claire. Fair Mace Attorney Judge, and then this act extremely gullible all the time. I guess. No less. Armstrong. I could be deleted even. Sorry, that took me a second. That one wasn't serious, Bear. Fair enough. There was another man.
I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy in games to tell us the name of the real killer. And that man's name was Gordon Freeman.
Okay.
Did you carry the body yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie too?
When she saw that victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
Why'd you hide the bodies? What man? Who was he?
No, none. I cannot say. I feared for my life.
He's really scared.
You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. If you won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why do you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because... Okay. So we know he was heavily in debt to the Mafia guy, so we can just bring that up.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, monsieur.
Yes.
Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
Maiden, you're a bit old to get away with that.
I choose not to read that line.
I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence.
It's the Gordon Freeman quote from Full Life Consequences. Saying someone's Gordon Freeman is from the beginning of Half-Life 2. Yeah, I'm surprised really. Normally it's Phoenix with the transphobic lines. Basically, near the beginning of Half-Life 2, you get teleported around, you appear in Dr. Breen, the main antagonist's office briefly, then a bit later you appear again, and he's just on the phone saying, I thought I saw someone appear in my office and I could have sworn it was. Then he looks up at you and says, Gordon Freeman. Yeah, you must be rubbing off on Mayor. It's a shame.
So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies. Is that correct? Like the movie Shallow Grave?
Oui, that's right.
If we're to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make it clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue.
Yeah, but he doesn't really want to tell us who the killer is.
Then sock it to him, Nick.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay. So we know the motive. He was in quite a lot of debt.
You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed the money.
This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you're forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, this is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. Le Tigre. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it appeared like that. Why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and to the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I just realised his shirt is literally just a tiger eating a dragon.
I have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
None. I knew nothing about that. The perp looks like Chaz Princeton from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, I've never actually seen Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but he does look like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Character. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. I was not. It is despicable. I never framed her.
Mr. Godot? You will summon this Fury of Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
Nolus, after Googling, you can't agree.
30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
How the?
Don't sit back and relax yet. Try it. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not.
Pixel, I'd like Chaz. They too are haunted by multiple ghosts that other people cannot see. Amazing.
This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
Okay, to be continued. It's 6:15, so I'll call it there because obviously I need to get ready for the D&D stream. I know, just an hour and 10 minutes is a bit short for a stream, but nevertheless, thank you all for dropping by. Oh, thanks, Bear. Okay, that's saved. Yep, D&D's in an hour and 3/4. It's at 7:30 GMT. It is currently 6:15. If you go to Nick's channel... Oh, hey, Nick! You're actually just in time for the end of the stream. So, yep. I am going to be getting ready. You try to eat as quick as possible to get here in time. Oh, sorry, Nick. By way of compensation, I'll show up to your D&D stream. You'll catch the VOD, it'll be fine. So, yeah, you can actually set, obviously it's YouTube, so you can set a reminder for when that goes live. But that'll be in an hour and a quarter from now. Because it's 6:15 GMT right now, and the stream starts at 7:30. I need to get my grounded TM horns on and all that. Alright, I've actually got my got some contacts, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, we'll just find someone to raid. I think Jonas just went live, so probably him, but we'll just see who else is on. obviously, aside from D&D, a bit in about, well, an hour and a quarter, as I keep saying. Monday I'll be continuing Paper Mario. Oh look, Kiara is playing Fortnite. So yeah, I think I explained this earlier, but Kiara's basically streaming Fortnite because of my Metroid Other M stream. And she's doing it for a friend's transition fund, so I'll send you over to her. Be advised, content warning, she swears a lot while playing Fortnite, but yes, and she tells us she doesn't stream. Curious. Curious, Nick. Well, in any case, thanks for dropping by. Hope to see you at the D&D stream. Also hope to see you on Monday. Have a lovely time zone. Have a lovely weekend. Yep, that's about it, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's true, no less. Kiara actually dropped that running gag. But yep. No particular raid message, just say bread raid or whatever. But anyway, yep, raiding in 3, 2, 1, and have a lovely weekend.